Remember, our grammar point is word order and questions, so that is what we are going to study. First, let's see if you can remember. Can you remember the questions from the previous section? Can you identify them and remember the order of the words? Can you reorder those words? I will count to 3 in my head. The question was, where are you from? Do you watch TV? What kind of music do you listen to? Where did you study English before? What are you going to do this weekend? These are 5 questions from the previous group. Okay, it is common to have problems with English questions. Sometimes you remember the questions because you just remember them, but you need to know that there is an order and you need to follow this order. Okay? To follow the order, you need to understand 2 things. When do you need the auxiliary verbs do, does, or did, and when you cannot use them? So when yes and when no. And when you know when yes and when no, you need to decide in what order. So let's check the first part. Is your question in simple present or simple past? If the answer is no, if you are creating questions like, is he studying? Can he come? Have you traveled to New York? These questions are not simple present or simple past, and you cannot use the auxiliary verb do, does, or did. But if your questions are in simple present or simple past, maybe your question includes do, does, or did. Maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no. So you need another question. Is your main verb to be? Is your action to be? If your action is study, speak, dance, live, eat, if your action is not to be, your question must include do, does, or did, if it is in simple present and simple past. Does he speak English? Do you drink coffee? Did he finish his homework? These are questions in simple present, number 1 and number 2, or in simple past, question number 3. And the main verb is not the verb to be. The main verbs are speak, drink, and finish. But if your main verb is the verb to be, then you cannot include do, does, or did. And all you need to do is invert. Is she Chilean? Were they happy on their birthday? Okay, that explains when you must use do, does, or did, and when you cannot use do, does, or did. But now we need the word order. Rules for word order. Remember, basically, we have 2 sections. Verbs that need do, does, or did, because they are in present simple and simple present and simple past. And verbs with questions with the verb to be, and in other tenses like present continuous, going to. Here are the rules. You can stop and review, but we are going to apply them. To apply these rules, we have 2 exercises. They are very similar, but here is a difference. Right place, right order. In this case, right place, you have a question and you need to incorporate a word. You do not need to change the order. The order is correct, but you need to incorporate a word. In this other section, you have all the words All the words are here. You do not need to incorporate another word, but they are not in the correct order. Let's try. Let's do the first example. How are you is my basic question, and I need to incorporate the word old. How are you is a question, but this is not the question they want. They want me to put this in here. I see the verb are, and the verb are is a form of the verb to be. So I know that this is my chart. This is my formula. I have 4 possibilities to put old. And I need to start with a question word. Here, I do not start with a question word, so I can delete this option. Okay, yes, here and here, after the question word, I have the verb to be. But my question word is not how. My question word is how old. So these two disappear. So we don't have anything in this section. My question word is how old are you? How old are you? Okay, next exercise. You going to go out this evening? I need to incorporate the word are. Are is a form of the verb to be, and going is a verb plus ing. So this can disappear. Okay, and I have many options where to put are. At the beginning, in the middle, or the last word. Okay, first, if we have a question word, I need a question word. In this case, we don't have a question word, so this doesn't work. After the question word, the first word needs to be a form of the verb be. All these do not start with the form of the verb be. So my form is are, and I can delete these. Then I need a subject, and I need a verb plus ing and extra. Okay, let's check one thing. Maybe you said, you are going to go out this evening. This sounds correct. Yes, you are right. You are going to go out this evening is correct, but it is not a question. The question is, are you going to go out this evening? This is correct if it is not a question. If we delete the question, I'm going to go out this evening, you're going to go out this evening, he's going to go out this evening. Those are correct English, but they are not questions. In the next example, we have, where does your work? And I need to incorporate sister. Okay, does is an auxiliary, and work is the base form of the verb work. So I know which is my chart. And I know that I can incorporate sister in all these places. Question word. Yes, I have a question word. Where? So the first one disappears. Auxiliary. Yes, I have an auxiliary. So it is does. So this disappears. Then I need a subject. Okay, sister could be a subject and work my verb. Your sister can be a subject and my verb work. And your work could be a subject, but sister cannot be a verb. So that is not an option. And which is my subject? Sister your or your sister? The subject is your sister. So the question is, where does your sister work? Okay, what song are you listening? I need to incorporate the word to. Are is a form of the verb to be. Listening is a verb plus ing. We are ready to decide where we need to incorporate to. Okay, we're ready. If I have a question word, I start with a question word. My question word is what song? So I have 2 options less. Then I need a form of the verb to be. To be. So my form is are. I can make another option disappear. Then I need a subject. What song are to? To is not a subject. What song are you? Yes, that is a subject. Okay. So I have 2 options. And now, after the subject, I need a verb plus ing. My verb is listening. But I need 2 because some verbs need a preposition. You listen to the teacher, you listen to music. Similar to you think about vacation, you think about love. Or you wait for the bus, you wait for an answer. Some verbs, not all verbs, are always followed by a preposition, and this is the case. Does finish at 8 the class? Okay, here we have a phrase, not a word, because we have 2 words. The class. So this is not a word. This is a phrase. 2 words. Does, auxiliary, finish, base form, haha. The possibilities are 5. And now I follow the chart. Question word, no question word, forget question word. Auxiliary, does. Okay, we have 4 now. Subject, aha. Finish, 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 finish is not the subject, it's the verb. So my subject is the class. Does the class finish at 8? Is my question. Why you write to me? Didn't. Auxiliary, base form. And my options. Okay, so if we have a question word. My question word is why, 1 option out. Next, the auxiliary. My auxiliary is didn't. Easy. My subject is you, and my base form is write plus extra things. Why didn't you write to me? Do you to the movies a lot? I need to incorporate go. I have a do, I have an auxiliary, and I have a verb in base form. So, go has many, many options because it is a very long question. Question word, that is not a situation here. We do not have a question word. Auxiliary, yes. Subject, you. And after the subject, base form. Go plus extras. Do you go to the movies a lot? What this word mean? Does. So does is my auxiliary. Mean is a base form. And my options. Question word first. Yes, I have a question word. What? Then the auxiliary. Does. What does this word mean? What time did arrive your friends? Did, auxiliary, arrive, verb. Options. Chart. Question word, what time? Auxiliary, did. I still have 2. Next subject, your friends, arrive. Here we have a different kind of exercise. Notice, we have to put the words in the right order. And we still have two charts. You live where do? I have a do, I have an auxiliary, and I have a live, a base form. Okay, just follow it. Question word, where, auxiliary, do, subject, you, verb, live. You do have car. Okay, do is an auxiliary, have is a base form. My question word, there is no question word. Auxiliary, do, you have a car. Oh, no auxiliary, but the verb is. My only verb is. So I need to follow this chart. Question word, no question word. Form of the verb to be, yes, is. Is your brother older than you? Often he how to write does you. Auxiliary and verb. How often does he write to you? Does start. Question word. What time does this class start? Go did. Where did you go last summer? Where did you go last summer? Do speak. Aha. How many languages do you speak? Are is a form of the verb to be, and going is a verb plus ing. No question word. Are you going to see her this evening? Are and ing. Who is my question word? Are you waiting for?